Roberto Luongo.
Great save, Luongo!
Sergei Bobrovsky.
Out in front, Bobrovsky dives to his right with a robbery!
Jacob Markstrom.
Markstrom! Oh, did you see that?
And Thatcher.
A marvelous save with the right pad!
What do these four elite goaltenders have in common? They were of course trained by Ian Clark, a master sensei that guides his students to greatness. Like a skilled swordsmith, meticulously honing raw metal into a flawless samurai sword, Ian Clark shapes raw prospects into polished, award-winning goalies. His goaltending workshop is equal parts mental, physical, and philosophical. In this video, I will break down his goaltending philosophy, and you may ask, where did I get this information? From the man himself. Kids, get yourself a library card. There are some real hidden gems in there. But before I get into it, make sure you like and subscribe for elite hockey content. Positioning is the most important aspect when making a save, but mobility is the engine that fuels a goaltender's positioning. Clark breaks this down into 3 statements. If your movement improves, your positioning improves. If your positioning improves, then your first save is made with greater control. Finally, if your save is made with greater control, then your rebound control will be better. In this save by Roberto Luongo, we see all 3 statements in action. Luongo anticipates the cross-ice pass from Taves to Sharp, loads up his push leg, and gets across the crease with excellent positioning to make this save look easy. He also doesn't panic and punch the puck back to the Hawks. He used his blocker as a mighty shield, deflecting the fiery breath of the opponent. Alex Burrows then wielded his sword and slayed the dragon, securing victory for the Canucks. A save can be broken down into 3 components: preparation, save execution, and recovery. In practice, most goalies focus on save execution, but the great goaltenders understand the pivotal importance of preparation. This includes initial positioning and ice awareness. Recovery falls on the opposite end of the save execution, but when you think about it, recovery is just preparation for the next shot. Take a look at Bobrovsky here. He understands after the initial shot that his job is not done. The puck is still live in front of him like a grenade. Within a second, he recovers and resets his positioning in preparation to deny the rebound opportunity. These types of saves are the culmination of years of practice, in which Clark demands that all 3 of these steps are honored. Technical development is based on repeatedly executing sound mechanics. Therefore, the goaltender that honors the save process on every shot they face in practice will develop at a much more rapid pace. Collecting pucks sounds simple, but it is a powerful skill that reduces the number of goals against. You can see here, in this practice session between Clark and Demko, that Demko is collecting every loose puck that he can. This is a skill that sounds trivial, but Clark believes that the goaltender is the most important player on the ice. If you've read Atomic Habits, then you understand that significant change comes from small, consistent habits. Responsible goaltenders develop this puck collection habit. It is their way to influence a game. When the other team is pressing and your defense is tired, collecting and covering the puck is your opportunity to seize the moment and control flow of the game. Just as a boat anchor secures a vessel amidst turbulent waters, a goaltender's positional anchor steadies them amidst the storm of the opponent's shots. There are 2 anchors that Clark refers to in his book. The first being the depth anchor, more specifically their middle depth, which lies in between their aggressive and defensive depth. The middle depth is the most common position for a goaltender to play in. It is akin to home base. When things are not going right, a goaltender may feel that they need to work harder, to be more aggressive, but this only leads to compounding of their mistakes. They stray further and further away from their home base, or they turtle in their crease, leading to shooters picking them apart. Clark teaches his goalies that their optimal performance is found in this zone, the depth anchor. This anchor is vital to stem the tide of pressure and prevents the opposition from scoring in bunches. The second anchor is the stance anchor, and just like the depth anchor, goaltenders can overcompensate for this when they feel the pressure. When they feel that they need to try harder, they will sometimes get lower in their stance, which exerts more energy. Once this basic stance is corrupted, a goaltender loses optimal positioning. There are 2 variables for the basic stance, the first being width. A great marker for width is skate width relative to shoulder width. Most goalies determine that this is when their skates are slightly outside their shoulder width. The second variable is flexion, which is a bit more difficult to mark. It is the degree of bend in the knee and hips. When flexion is optimal in the basic mobile stance, the tip of the goalie stick should touch the ice when tilted, kind of like here with Marc-Andre Fleury. For a goalie, a pre-game routine is akin to the meticulous preparation of a warrior before battle. Hockey players are remarkably superstitious, and their routines are sacred. Whether it is the way they tape their sticks or tie their skates, they do not like to deviate from the norm. Clark states that goaltenders do not improve or get worse overnight. It is their routine that brings them home. And by home, he means the headspace that they need to occupy for optimal performance. He encourages his goaltenders to be leaders in this regard. From when they go to bed, to what they eat and when they eat before a game, their routine must support elite performance. Luongo obviously was eating a lot before games. Just listen to him outline his routine.
I used to take 5 to 6 poops a day.
I love that.
Clearly, he only went 4 or 5 times before Game 5 against the Ducks. Like a spring storing potential energy that can be unleashed in an instant, rotating your body before activating a cross can enable a goaltender to make lightning-fast saves with precision. The angle that a goalie has towards a shooter is the most important thing in their positional game. Due to the fast-paced nature of the sport, goalies are constantly losing the angle on the puck, whether it's rebounds, deflections, or the puck changing possession. This is where the ability to rotate is key. It allows a goaltender to recover to the puck's new position. A good example of this in action is this Luongo save on Tyler Bozak. As you can see, when the pass is made across the ice, Luongo is completely out of position. Bozak has a yawning cage, but Luongo ever so calmly doesn't panic. Look at the direction he is facing when the pass is made, and look at the direction his torso is facing before he even activates across the crease. This rotation is what allows him to generate more force to get back into the position, allowing him to make one of the greatest saves of his career. Wayne Gretzky's office was famously located behind the net. This allowed him to see the entire ice and make calculated, efficient decisions. The goaltender's office is just a few feet in front of Gretzky's, located in the crease. From the crease, the goaltender has a unique perspective. They can see the game unfold in ways that the skaters do not. Clark demands that his goaltenders communicate with their teammates to provide them crucial information, such as calling out incoming opponents, directing defensive coverage, or alerting players to open passing lanes. Clear and timely communication fosters cohesion and coordination amongst teammates, helping them work together seamlessly to defend against attacks. The goalie is like the conductor of a symphony, orchestrating the movements of their team in the defensive zone. Hockey is an incredibly fast and dynamic sport. It is almost impossible to predict with any certainty. That is why we see upsets in this sport more than any other sport. That uncertainty is why goaltenders need to be flexible. They must adapt their positioning to the rapid changes and unpredictable bounces of the puck. 1 millisecond, it is coming at you from the point. The next, it is deflected in the high slot, forcing you to make a split-second save. Flexibility and athleticism is what allows you to make these split-second saves. The rapid extension fueled by flexibility allows goaltenders to make additional saves, the saves that define great goalies. The inflexible goalie faces many issues. They constantly fall backwards to try and stick with the play, leading to holes and gaps in their coverage. The forward goalie, which demands excellent flexibility, eliminates these deficiencies. They don't make desperation saves from their backs, because they can rapidly extend and cover more area, giving the shooters less of a target, even when they are out of position. Clark suggests a flexibility program for goalies, but make sure you see an exercise physiologist because you don't want to hurt yourself. Goals are scored primarily in 4 different ways: traffic complications, net plays, rebounds, and rush attacks. A goaltender's ability to manage the rush is a testament to their ability to manage their depth. Navigating rush chances is akin to a skilled archer, adjusting their aim as the target approaches. Like the archer, the goalie must gauge the speed and trajectory of the oncoming rush, constantly recalibrating their position to maintain the optimal distance from the shooter. Ian Clark encourages his goalies to release early to help manage depth. This means that you release from the goal line when the rush is early in its development, before it even crosses the opposition's blue line. By the way, subscribe to the Blue Line Hockey. Releasing early allows a goalie to manage their depth as the rush develops. Releasing early also allows the goalie to use their full positional range, which is one of the fundamental skills associated with rush management. There are 6 components to reading and reacting to plays for a goalie. They are early awareness of the attack and its specific nuances, read of puck carrier intent, continued peripheral awareness, final read of puck carrier intent, visual tracking through the save process, and finally start again with number 1. Repeat your read framework. As you can see, step 1 in the read and react framework is awareness. The game moves incredibly fast, especially during an odd man rush. Locking into the shooter does you no good if you get tunnel vision and forget the trailer. In point 7, I mentioned communication. The goaltender has a unique view of the ice, so they must let their teammates know what is going on. The goalie must anticipate the play several moves ahead, reading the intricate patterns unfolding before them like a master strategist on the chessboard. Just as a grandmaster calculates moves and counters, the goalie must assess the positioning of players, the flow of the game, and the shooter's subtle cues that foreshadow the next play. Follow these 10 steps, and maybe one day you can become an elite goaltender. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to hit 10,000 subscribers by the beginning of next season, and I can do it with your help. Some of you may have noticed that I have returned to an earlier style of video essay that was quite successful back in January. I do have a slate of video essays planned for the next few weeks. So make sure you hit the bell notification icon to be updated when the next video releases. Until then, cheers!